Home Grown Filmmakers? It's Annie here, and today I'm talking about our new podcast. So things on the channel have been a little slow lately, and that is because we're moving. Currently we live in the western part of Washington, and in just a couple weeks we're going to be moving to the eastern side of Washington in the Spokane area. So we've been super busy packing and traveling over there to find a house and figuring all this stuff out, so not a lot of time to be working on movies. I've been trying to keep new stuff coming up on the channel, so if you haven't seen them yet, you could check out some of the old BTS stuff I've been posting. There's a couple videos from a film we did about 3 years ago. I recently found all of the behind the scenes footage for it and just edited it together really quick. It was super fun to just go back and see what it was like 3 years ago when we were literally just starting, filmmaking, and it's super cool to see how much we've grown since then. So, in trying to keep ourselves busy during the move while we're not really able to work on filmmaking, we've started up a new project, which is one we've really wanted to do for a long time, and that is the Earflaps podcast. All of us here at Rogue Zohu Productions love talking about movies, and often when we watch films together, we'll spend a couple hours afterward just talking about things we liked, things we didn't like, what they did right, what they did wrong, things that we thought we learned from it. We wanted to be able to share that experience with you guys, because honestly, that is where we have learned the most about filmmaking, is in analyzing the films that we're just watching because we like to watch movies. I'm so excited about it, and I wanted to take you guys along on kind of our process for getting a podcast made. So the movie that we are doing for the podcast this time is Kubo and the Two Strings. We usually prefer to watch the film right before we record the podcast, or like the night before or a couple of days before, because even though we're watching it while we're recording the podcast, we're really not focusing on the film, we're focusing on the filmmaking. And so it really is helpful to watch the film as just an audience member beforehand. So we watched Kubo and the Two Strings last night, and we're going to be recording tomorrow afternoon. So I'm spending today really just researching Kubo and the Two Strings, the making of it, and the just the production, how it came, the producers, who directed it, who wrote it, all that sort of stuff, because I really like to know why movies are made, and that's really what I want to research about Kubo, is why did this get made, what inspired it, and where did all these ideas come from. So I'm just going to spend a couple hours right now researching. So to get my basic facts, I usually just start with Wikipedia. They have a full spread on big picture, how the production went and who all was involved. Another great resource for me is reviews that other people have done for the movie. It's great to hear everyone else's thoughts and just get a general idea of how the movie was received before we go into the podcast. And from there I move into researching the creative people behind the film, so looking for interviews with directors, producers, artists, actors. It's really great to hear their perspective, what they were wanting to do, and all the effort that they put into it, and it really just helps me understand the movie better, knowing where they were coming from. YouTube is such a great resource these days. They put so much behind the scenes up there, so there you can usually find 1 or 2 videos of any movie that was made in the last 5 or 6 years, really detailing the process behind the films, interviews with the actors, and just being able to, again, get a sense of the people behind the project. Here we are. We're at Max and Rachel's house, which is where we will be recording the podcast. We're going to get all of the equipment set up.
Okay, let's see what we got. Ugh. Right now I have the 2 lav microphones connected to one input and this microphone connected to another input. And the reason for that is because me and Max are male voices. That's why we have to share this microphone. And Annie and Rachel are female voices, which it's just kind of a good practice to split up the male and female voices because they are so different. And to be able to have them on separate tracks to edit them in post later, because sometimes you want to boost just one where the same boost would make the other one sound weird. We are now recording.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Earflaps podcast, the podcast where we tear apart the movies I forgot.
Love.
Is the movies we love?
Yeah, for educational purposes.
Okay.
And medicinal purposes.
Medicinal. Okay, let me try again.
Starting over. So today's movie is Kubo and the Two Strings. Came out in 2006, and it stars the voices.
Let's try again.
2016.
I was like...
I was just looking at the 6.
I know.
So today's movie is Kubo and the Two Strings. I really like it. I don't love the ending because, I don't like how it leaves you. It feels like it breaks what it set up a little bit.
Maybe the narration needed to call back to the beginning. So the whole beginning setup was that he loved to tell stories, but he never ended them.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's what they were trying to say. This is the end of his story. You don't need to know more. But again, the point was that stories live on, and so the end of one story is just the beginning of another.
I wish there was a little bit more of that if they were gonna look down the camera like they did. Like I just wanted a little bit more like narration to deserve that. I don't know.
Gave it purpose, gave it reasons. Whereas a lot of Disney films just kind of like, and then we're hitting this checkpoint, and then we're hitting this checkpoint, and there's
And
not
now a song.
yeah. Whereas this, you felt there was a purpose for everything that happened, and it just connects so much better. So even though it's the same themes, family, stories, it's a better version of it.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been the Earflaps podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Signing off, here is Annie.
And Rachel. And Lizzie.
And Max.
And over in the corner, our tech support.
I'm Joe.
Hey Joe.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Talk to you next time. We'll talk at you next time.
Cut. So we finished recording, and now on to editing. Editing, of course, starts with logging, which helps me keep all of our files organized. It's really important, especially on something like this where it's episodic. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of these. So having a system already set up for how this is all going to be organized really helps me to flow smoothly and get it all done quickly. Once we're finished with logging, we move on to editing, which I'm learning to do in Adobe Audition. Our process for editing is pretty simple because of the commentary format that we do. So basically, what I really need to edit is the intro and the outro. Just take out any mistakes, things like that to just tighten it up and make it ready to go. I can't actually edit the commentary section very much because we can't change the length of it at all because it does run alongside the movie. So that part I just tend to skip through, make sure there aren't any glaring problems with it, and then just skip to the outro and put that part together. So I finished editing it, and then the next step is to export it and get it ready to kind of upload to all of the different places that I'm going to be putting it, which involves adding photo and adding a whole bunch of information to it, which will help the internet process it and find it and, categorize it and that sort of stuff. And my final step is to upload it to our database online. And from there we plug it into our website, which is where online streaming sources can find it. And that's it. That's our process. The podcasts are now live on iTunes, so you can go ahead and check them out. There's already a couple episodes up there. We really hope you enjoy them, you find them educational, and we love any feedback that you would like to share with us. If you like this video, please subscribe to get more content from us. We are Rogue Zohu Productions, a production company made up of 2 home-educated families. We love movies, we love talking about movies, we love sharing what we're learning about movies, and that's what we talk about here on the channel. So if you'd like to see more of that, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time.